Section 3.3 The Great Tribulation. The Great Tribulation is thought to be either a time when those who believe in Jesus will be persecuted and killed for their beliefs, or a time of great natural disasters like hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, etc. Both are happening in the world right now. If these are the signs of the Great Tribulation, then we can expect them to grow worse as the end approaches, because Jesus compared these tribulations to the pangs of childbirth in Matthew 24, sometimes translated as the beginnings of sorrow. Every year, there are more Christians martyred today for their faith than in the entire reign of the Roman Empire. If you're interested in learning more about modern martyrs and how to pray for them, you can go to the website www.persecution.net. In the Gospels of Matthew and Mark, Jesus talks about the Great Tribulation. Here is what he says: "For then shall be great tribulation, such as has not been since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And unless those days should be shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say to you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and show great signs and wonders, so much so that if it were possible, they would deceive even the elect. Behold, I have told you beforehand. Therefore, if they shall say to you, Behold, he is in the desert, do not go out. Behold, he is in the secret rooms, do not believe it. For as the lightning comes out of the east and shines even to the west, so also will be the coming of the Son of Man. For wherever the carcass is, there the eagles will be gathered. And immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun shall be darkened, the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from the heavens, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then the sign of the Son of Man shall appear in the heavens, and then all the tribes of the earth shall mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven, with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heavens to the other." And again in Mark, "But in those days after that tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers in the heavens shall be shaken. And then they will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. And then he shall send his angels, and shall gather his elect from the four winds, from the end of the earth to the end of heaven." From these passages, we know that the Great Tribulation occurs just before the sun turns dark, the moon does not give its light, and the stars fall from heaven. These events are the same as the cosmic disturbances which occur at the opening of the sixth seal. In Revelation 6:12 and 13, he says, "And when he had opened the sixth seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became as black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became like blood, and the stars of heaven fell to the earth." Jesus also says that the days of tribulation will be shortened for the sake of the elect. In this case, the elect must still be on the earth during this great tribulation. Herein lies the source of confusion and contention over the rapture. It is a common misconception that the Great Tribulation refers to the very last days before the Battle of Armageddon. Since the elect must remain on the earth until the Great Tribulation is over, this is biblical, and they believe that this Great Tribulation refers to the final events in the book of Revelation. This is a belief. They assume that we must all still be here when Jesus returns at the very end. For just a few moments, I would like to ask these people to suspend disbelief and consider that perhaps we have mislabeled the Great Tribulation. The Bible passages that we just reviewed show that the Great Tribulation immediately precedes the cosmic disturbances which occur at the opening of the sixth seal. In the Gospels, these celestial signs herald the gathering of the elect. It seems possible to me then that the sixth seal could be the time of the rapture. There is a significant event that occurs shortly after the opening of the sixth seal. 144,000 men are sealed in Revelation 7, and they are not redeemed from the earth until Revelation 14, when they sing a new song before the throne. Again, this fits with the idea of a rapture. If all God's people were still on the earth, why would God only protect 144,000 Jewish men? leaving women and children and so many others without protection. I believe that these men are sealed and remain on the earth because God desires to leave a witness for the people who are left behind. If all those who believe in God are just taken away at the rapture, then who would be left to come against the lies of the Antichrist with God's truth? If this is a little overwhelming, stop here and read through the relevant Bible chapters. It will greatly clarify the events. Revelation 1-7, Matthew 24, and Mark 13. There is one more rapture-relevant passage which describes what happens to those who appear in heaven at the opening of the sixth seal. These comforting words are written about the ones who are clothed in white. In Revelation 7 it says, "They will not hunger any more, nor thirst any more, nor will the sun light on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb who is in the midst of the throne will feed them, and will lead them to the fountains of living waters, and God will wipe away all tears from their eyes." Much later in Revelation, we hear those words again. They are spoken to those who are found worthy at the white throne judgment, which occurs after the millennial reign. 14 chapters later, we hear the words again. It says, "And God will wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there will be no more death, nor mourning, nor crying out, nor will there be any more pain, for the first things have passed away. To him who thirsts, I will give the fountain of the water of life." And in Revelation 22, "And there will be no night there, and they need no lamp or light of the sun, for the Lord God gives them light, and they will reign forever and ever." I believe that the great multitude hears these words in chapter 7 of Revelation when they are raptured at the sixth seal, because their time of mortality is ended and they will never be separated from Yeshua again, or Jesus. The rest of the people remain behind on earth after the elect are taken away. Therefore, they do not hear those words until after the white throne judgment, at the very end of the age. On table 3.6, you can see this information portrayed more visually. First, there are the 7 letters to 7 churches, which describe the trials and tribulations faced by those who specifically have faith in the Messiah, Jesus. Then they have the first heavenly scene in heaven, where there are no people, just angels, elders, and the 4 living creatures. After this, the 4 horsemen are released, and they are able to affect everyone on earth, whether believer or not. Shortly after this, the cosmic disturbances occur at the opening of the 6th seal. The sun goes dark, the moon goes red, and the stars fall. This is the first purple column. The next purple column is the second scene in heaven, where suddenly a great crowd appears, after which 144,000 men are sealed. Jesus in the Gospels described the events before the sun turning dark, the moon turning red, and the stars falling as the Great Tribulation. It may initially seem strange that the Great Tribulation occurs early in Revelation, because we have often been taught that the final days on earth are the time of Great Tribulation. Perhaps we have been mistaken. The time of Great Tribulation, according to the Gospels, happens just before the sun turns black, the moon turns red, at the opening of the 6th seal. If the period just before the 6th seal is called the Great Tribulation by Jesus, what is the period after this called? There is a hint found in Revelation 6. The people who are not caught up to heaven cry out to the mountains, "Fall on us and hide us from the face of him sitting on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath has come, and who will be able to stand?" Revelation 6. The time after the seals is no longer tribulation, but wrath. The following passage describes the people of God being resurrected and entering into rooms where they are kept hidden during a time of wrath. Could this be a description of the rapture? "Your dead ones shall live. Together with my dead body they shall arise. Awake and sing, you who dwell in the dust, for your dew is as the dew of lights, and the earth shall cast out the dead. Come, my people, enter into your rooms and shut the doors around you. Hide for a little moment, until the fury or wrath has passed by. For behold, Yahweh comes out of his place to punish the people of the earth for their iniquity. The earth shall also reveal her blood, and shall no more cover her dead." Isaiah 26. In later chapters, we will return to this topic and look at the difference between wrath and tribulation, including how and where these words are used in the book of Revelation.